Welcome. This is Joshua Benoist in Autodesk Product Support. So we're on video 9 where we're talking about beveled takeoffs, mitered, and conical, how they look different between 2008 and the newer versions, and some of the issues surrounding that. So here's a brief problem statement, and let's pause the video if you need to read that. So I was just mentioning in the previous video, try not to draw objects in the negative Y or negative X quadrants. Always stay in the positive. So let's zoom in up here, and we're in the XY plane. This doesn't have to be too complicated. We're going to add a rectangular profile. And then we're going to right click on that XY plane again, and we're going to say add another profile. We're going to add a circular profile. And actually, I think that was a mistake. So let's undo that. Don't ever use undo button in Content Builder. Delete and redraw. So the mistake I made was we should add, when you're using the round profile, always add a point to be the center point of the circle, and then hit enter, and then draw, right click on XY plane, add profile, circular, and use this point. My O snaps aren't set right. That'd be nice to have. So we're going to say node. I'm going to escape out of the command. Make sure that these O snaps first are turned on, and then let's get this set right. So I'm going to turn off everything except for node and endpoint. I think those are the only ones we really need in here. And we're going to say OK. So now I can do this again. Right click, add profile, circular, and there it grabbed our node. That's what we want. And we'll draw outwards. And so now this circle is tied to that point. Content Builder made the association for us. So now we need to draw some geometry, a line, and the line basically goes from the center of your duct main to the edge of the duct main, and then it's going to, you guys start imagining your profiles as they flare inwards to your circle and end, and then you probably have a little bit of like a 1-inch neck on it. So sometimes when your O snaps are too close there, it starts, so draw it a little extra outwards, and we'll constrain it later down to 1 inch, with some dimensions. So now we need to dimension all those. Come back to the XY plane and right click and say, before we add dimensions, it's important to know we need an origin point, and that's going to be this point right here. And we got to identify that point here. I think that's under geometry. So what we'll do is we'll choose some of these. That's that point up there, that's that point there. Right click and say fixed. Notice it turned green. That means it's a fixed point in space. So that's going to anchor everything for us. So as our transition fitting, as our profile expands and contracts and bevels and stuff, this point anchors everything down. So notice, remember I mentioned that the bevel is offset from the center point of everything as it connects into the duct main is not the same as the center where our branch is. So we need to offset for that.